So, it's imperative that in marriage that you stay connected with who you are. You don't lose yourself in your marriage. All right. And how do you lose yourself in your marriage? When your identity is not as important as the relationship. So bits and pieces of you start to fade away while you immerse yourself in your pursuit of your spouse or in your pursuit of this particular marriage. Healthy marriages or healthy relationships are interdependent, where everybody maintains their own identity within the construct of the marriage. You don't lose yourself in the marriage. You guys follow me?
Yes.
So I'm gonna give you 5 ways that people lose themselves in their marriage, and you can kind of look at yourself. If you guys, those of you that are attending now that are married, newly married, I want you to pay attention to this so that you don't fall into this. And for those of you who have been married for some time, you may want to take some time to reflect and see, have I fallen into this? And if you are no longer married, you need to ask yourself to do some reflection to say, hey, did I lose myself in my marriage? So 5 ways that people lose themselves in their marriage. Number 1 is that you become a people pleaser. You become a people pleaser, meaning you will do anything to keep your spouse happy, even at the expense of the things that were once important to you. You lose yourself. So if you used to go to the gym and work out, but your spouse now, needs you home, when you leave work, so you no longer go to the gym anymore, you rush home to make sure that person, has what they need from you. So you're forgetting about the things that are important to you and completely focused on pleasing your spouse. And why do people please? Why do they do that? Why do people do that?
Keep the
avoid
peace.
conflict.
Huh?
Right. Mm-hmm. Keep the peace, like she said. Okay.
Yeah, and to avoid conflict.
Okay.
Yes.
Number 1, to avoid conflict. You avoid conflict.
Mm-hmm.
You people please also because of the fear of being divorced, fear of the person leaving you. And so you'll do anything to keep them, even if it means losing yourself in the process, because that's the exchange. You get to keep the person, but you don't get to keep who you are. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. Yes, Brother Fahim, self-abandonment. You abandon yourself. And it's also self-betrayal because you betray yourself. Because, you're living a double life because you are putting off the things that are important to you at the expense of, placating your partner's feelings. Yeah, it's like, a type of imposter syndrome that you would be suffering from because you know that you're giving up things that are important to you, but your focus is on making this person happy. All right. Number 2, I'm not going to ask you guys to self-disclose, but I do want you to do some reflection on this and to ask yourself, in my previous marriage, did I do that? Was I afraid of being divorced? Was I afraid of this person leaving? And so I was willing to give up my identity and the things that were important to me to keep this person. And that's a sign of an unhealthy relationship. Here again, healthy relationships are interdependent. Which brings me to number 2 for the reasons that people lose themselves in their marriage is that they become codependent. Codependent on the other person. Meaning you rely on the other person to make you happy. You're outsourcing your happiness. You rely on the other person to feel good about yourself, which brings me to number 3, which is a lack of self-esteem. So this person, you keep this person around you because this person makes you feel better about yourself. And in the absence of that person, you are faced with the reality of your low self-esteem and low sense of self-worth. So these are reasons why people lose themselves in their marriage. You become codependent on the other person. If two people are the same, one of you is irrelevant. So if you merge yourself with your spouse and you guys become one, then the old you, the person that was you, is no longer necessary in this relationship. So that person disappears. And so your spouse's likes become your likes. Because you realize, if I like the same thing that she likes, or if I like the same thing that he likes, then I can gain their approval. I can gain, that's a codependency. You are dependent upon that person for your own validation. Am I making sense? Does this make sense? Yeah. You don't have to have the same likes. As I said before, we focus on the wrong stuff in marriage. It's like, oh, she likes that, so I like that, so we make a good couple. No, you can be completely polar opposites, but interdependent. Like, I respect you for the things that you like. My wife eats shrimp. I don't eat shrimp. I'm very limited when it comes to seafood. Salmon and maybe some whiting. Other than that, I don't eat much from the sea. That's just my own personal preference. But sometimes we'll go to a seafood restaurant and I'll just sit there and watch her eat, because I don't eat it. If they got some fish or they got some salmon that I eat, then I'll eat. If not, enjoy. I'm good. I'll get something somewhere else. But I don't have to like what you like in order for us to be a thing, a couple, That's not the sign of a healthy relationship. Healthy relationship is we are interdependent in this situation. You are allowed to keep your identity. I'm allowed to keep my identity. I respect the things that you do and the things that you like, even if I don't like them myself, and I don't have to do them. That's what you do. I don't eat red meat. My wife eats red meat. She loves it. So we go to the store, I'll order chicken, she'll order beef or order lamb, whatever. Enjoy. But I don't have to eat what you eat in order for us to be, equally yoked, as people like to say. No, you are free to enjoy the things that you like, and I'm free to enjoy the things that I like. That's how I maintain my own personal identity. Keeping the things that are important to me. Codependency, number 2. Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
I find that too many people expect women to give up themselves to be a people pleaser. And so, there's a lot of hesitation when I feel like I can't be myself.
That's number 5 for how you lose yourself in a marriage, and that's when you're married to a narcissist.
Oh, okay.
I'll get to that one. The narcissist wants to change you. He wants to change you, or she wants to change you, because in changing you, they don't have to change themselves. So they begin chipping away at your self-esteem, chipping away at you. Not to mention, they also isolate you from all of the people in your life that are important to you. That also steals your identity, because you used to be friends with her, but when you marry him, he began chipping away at the friendships that you have. I don't want you hanging with this sister. And then, of course, obviously using the religion to support that. I don't want you to hang in with this sister because this sister be doing things that are haram. This sister does things that are haram, and I don't want you hanging with. But the ulterior motive here is to put you on an island by yourself. Because once the narcissist can get you on the island by yourself, meaning you're separated from friends, family, you're lost at that point, because connecting with friends and family is how we establish our identity. Because these are the people that we feel comfortable being who we are around. So when you eliminate and you remove those people from the person's life, they're confused. They don't know who to be. So what they end up doing is being exactly who the narcissists want them to be. Yeah, very dangerous. But that's number 5.